question. But today, those are the only answers. Welcome back, everyone, to some more ASMR Trivia. Today, there are going to be 25 questions. After every question, it's going to get harder. There are 5 different categories, from easy to all the way to extremely difficult. But the thing is, there's only 2 possible answers to each of those questions. Either Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi. That's it. So even if you don't know soccer or football, or you don't know Ronaldo or Messi, you have a good chance of getting at least 50% of the questions correct, because there's only 2 options to choose from. Alright, let's see. Can you get a perfect score and be an ultimate fan? Or can you get 50% and be the same as someone who's guessing? Let's find out. Alright, let's start with the very first question. Okay, here's question number 1. It's going to start off very easy, okay? So here we go. Who is known globally as CR7? Now again, because there are only 2 options, there's going to be no hints. Or at the very least, very minimal hints. Because usually with these quizzes, it's open-ended. You could say anything, right? If I say, who played for Los Angeles Galaxy, there's many options. But if I say, who rhymes with Glassy, it's probably Ronaldo. I'm just kidding. Alright, very easy question. Who is known globally as CR7? The one. Did you log in? Okay. The one, the only, Cristiano Ronaldo. Also, I'm not here to bias anyone's opinions. I'm just a Ronaldo fan, as you all may know. Does that mean all these questions will be Ronaldo? That would be really funny. There's only 2 possible answers, but really I'm only choosing one. Alright, that was the first question. Pretty easy, right? Alright. Question number 2. Who spent over 20 years contracted to FC Barcelona? FC Barcelona. What really is interesting to me is how young football players, soccer players start. This person, I don't want to give hints, but this person has been with Barcelona for 20 years. I'm going to assume, because it says contracted, that's even if they're on the B team and not on the main team. But still, let's just say the person was 34 years old. Since they were 14, like that's crazy to me. I was picking my boogers at 14. Imagine. Wait, how old was what is that? Grade 9 here, yeah. Maybe not. I maybe not picking my boogers, but you know. Did you lock in your answer? The person who spent over 20 years contracted to FC Barcelona is the one, the only, Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi. 20 years is a long time. That's actually crazy. I think it would have been cool to see him stay his whole career there. That would be crazy. That would be like 30 years probably. Because he's still playing, and he's still probably going to play. Alright, question number 3. Who won their first Ballon d'Or in 2009? And if you're wondering, the Ballon d'Or is a French award awarded to the best player of that year. So, the hint is, who was a better player in 2009? Ronaldo or Messi? And it's also crazy that you'll be like, well, who was better in that year? and one will have like 50 goals, the other one will have like 40 goals. It's like, it's insane. Like, if one of them didn't exist, then you would have one person dominating every year. If Ronaldo didn't exist, Messi would have won like 10 years in a row. Same if Messi didn't exist, Ronaldo would have won 10 years in a row. That's what I find crazy. You have these two crazy players head to head. No one really came close. Like the third option probably didn't even show up to the award show because they knew they weren't gonna win. That would suck to be the third place one. Who won their first Ballon d'Or in 2009? This is a toss-up, especially if you don't know. I didn't personally know, so it's a toss-up for me. I would choose Ronaldo. When in doubt, choose Ronaldo. That's just my default, whenever I don't know. But is that the right answer? Did you lock in? Here we go. Question number 3. Who won their first Ballon d'Or in 2009? It was Messi. Lionel Messi. And now you know we're not alternating back and forth. It's not Ronaldo, Messi, Ronaldo, Messi. Ronaldo, Messi, Messi. You don't know what comes next. Alright. Who made their professional debut at the age of 16? Professional debut. I'm gonna assume that's the main team. It only makes sense. Right? I don't think... Oh, that's a good question. Does that include, like, the youth teams? They're called youth teams, right? So, like, Barcelona B or Real Madrid B? I don't think so. I think it's like officially. I could be wrong. Anyway, who made their professional debut at age of 16? Was it Ronaldo or was it Messi? Are we gonna have 3 Messis in a row? Or will Ronaldo break the Messi streak? Are you locking in your answer? Here we go. The person who made their professional debut at the age of 16 is Messi. Messi, 3 Messis in a row. Lionel Messi. I thought I read the wrong question for a second. It is correct. Who played, question number 5, last question of the easier category. Who played club football in England, Spain, Italy, and Saudi Arabia? Who played club football in England, Spain, Italy, and Saudi Arabia? Who has gone all the way around the world? Kind of. These are 3 European countries and then 1 Middle East country, but kind of around the world. To be fair, both players, you can say that they have gone to different countries to play. But which one played in these countries? In England, Spain, Italy, and Saudi Arabia? Did you lock in your answer? I should have worn my other Ronaldo shirt that I've showed you before with the different images of him in different jerseys. So you all see that it is in fact Cristiano Ronaldo, who has played for England, Spain, Italy, and Saudi Arabia, Manchester United, Real Madrid, Juventus, and now Al Nassr. Sorry, I don't know why. I was thinking of Al Hilal. That's one Neymar went to, right? Alright. All good so far. Those are 5 questions in the easier category. Here we go. Going to the medium category now. A little bit harder. Who scored over 90 goals in a single calendar year? Which, in my understanding, is the most anyone has ever scored in a calendar year ever. That's a crazy feat. I love, like, it. Honestly, a lot of people will be like, Ronaldo's the best, Messi sucks, or Messi's the best, Ronaldo sucks. The fact that we've been able to watch these two perform and do what they did, even now, watching some players now, is like, it's not the same. This is supposed to be one of the best players in the world, but they're not performing as Ronaldo or Messi did in their prime. You know what I mean? It was a special time where if they were playing, you would expect a goal, and if they didn't score, you thought something was wrong, or you were wondering, are they even in the game? Because surely they would have scored by now. But who scored over 90 goals in a single calendar year? Did you lock in? The answer is Messi, Lionel Messi, which is interesting. I hope I don't spoil. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to say anything because it might be a future question. Don't worry about it. Just know what I was going to say was really cool, but I'm not going to tell you. Alright, question number 7. Who won the UEFA Champions League with Manchester United? Who won the UEFA Champions League with Manchester United? I'm not going to give a hint because I theoretically have already given a hint. I'm very curious to see how many of you got a perfect score today. I do think it's doable. If you're a big fan of Ronaldo, or if you're a big fan of Messi, then you know what your player did. So you know what he didn't. And whatever they didn't, you can say the other person's name and you get it right. I like this. It's very open for anyone to join. Even if you don't know these players, you just choose a name, you have a good chance of winning. Question number 7. Who won the UEFA Champions League with Manchester United? The answer is Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo. Dun, dun, dun. I just realized question number 5 said, who played club football in these countries? They missed Portugal. I hope that's not a question later on, but he also played there. Alright, question number 8. Who won their first Ballon d'Or while playing primarily as a winger? Who won their first Ballon d'Or while playing primarily as a winger? Now, if you're confused on what that means, let me do a quick little demonstration. If this is a soccer field or a football pitch, okay, like this, there are different positions that people play. In general, the attacking team is going to have one striker or two strikers, and sometimes they'll have wingers. Where do wings go? On the sides. So off to the side, at the top are the wingers, left wing, right wing, in the middle, striker. So it's saying which of these players won their first Ballon d'Or playing as one of these guys on the sides. Who is it? 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 Did you log in your answer? Here we go. Question number 8. Who won their first Ballon d'Or while playing primarily as a winger? The answer is Cristiano Ronaldo. Dun, dun, dun. He started off, I believe, as like a right mid, and then he moved to left mid / left wing. I could be wrong. Or was he right mid, right wing, then left wing? Damn, I'm a fake fan. That's not good. Question number 9. Who won the Golden goals in the entire tournament. So the question is, who won the Golden Ball? Who scored the most goals at a World Cup, but didn't end up winning that tournament? And if it's my understanding is correct, they made it to the final, but they lost. So who didn't win the World Cup, but won the Golden Ball? Who is it? Only one of two answers it can be. Did you lock in your answer? Okay. Bonus points if you could tell me which tournament, because I don't. I think it was 2018. I think it was 2018. Yeah. France won, but I think this team made it to the final. And which team is it? The team is Argentina, because it was Lionel Messi who won the Golden Ball at a World Cup without winning the World Cup. The more you know. Okay. Question number 10. The last question in the medium category. Who is Portugal's all-time leading goal scorer? This should have been in the easy category, but that's okay. It's a freebie. Who is Portugal's all-time leading goal scorer? Don't get tricked here. Is it a very simple, easy question? Or is it a trick? Am I tricking you? What if it was somebody who's not Portuguese? That doesn't make sense. Alright, just lock in your answer. The person who is Portugal's all-time leading goal scorer is Cristiano Ronaldo. Now I want to double check these questions here, just so I could drop some knowledge. Okay, technically there's no question about this. Yeah. Not only is Ronaldo scoring the most goals in Portugal's history, is also in the world's history. He has the most goals scored. I don't know this fact, but is Messi the most assists? And I think the most goals plus assists combined. I would assume so. Maybe not. I hope that's not a question going on and, coming up soon. Anyway, question number 11. We are starting in the hard category. Hope you're doing well so far. Here we go. Who scored a hat-trick against Spain in the 2018 World Cup? The one where France won. Who scored a hat-trick against Spain in the 2018 World Cup? Fun fact, I didn't watch this game live. I was at work. Wait. I was at work. Which sucks. But I watched it afterwards when I got home from work. And I remember it was like, I think the third goal was a free kick. There's your answer. Did you lock in your answer? Here we go. Who scored a hat-trick against Spain in the 2018 World Cup? The answer is Cristiano Ronaldo. It was a really, really nice free kick. And I like this question because it's kind of a trick question, because we said Messi was the top goal scorer in this tournament. So for Ronaldo to score 3, it kind of made more sense that Messi scored 3. Because how did he win the most goals for that tournament, So. Question number 12. Who was top scorer in La Liga for 4 consecutive seasons? Again, I want this to be a quiz that everyone can take, so I'm going to try to describe or explain certain things if you don't know what they are. La Liga is Spain's premier division or Premier League. So where all the best Spanish teams play. However, to make matters more confusing, both Ronaldo and Messi played for Spanish teams in La Liga. So that doesn't really help. But who scored the most and were the top scorer in the league for 4 consecutive seasons? Who was able to do it 4 times in a row? And this is what I mean. It wasn't just performing well. It was consistently performing well. And I think that's what makes the difference between good players and great players. You know, no matter the sport. You know, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, they were great players because they were consistently doing their best and consistently performing well. Unlike any player that you can think of that had a great season and then they just stopped performing. The top scorer in La Liga for 4 consecutive seasons was Lionel Messi. And this shocks me because, again, Ronaldo has the most goals of all time. But again, I'm going to assume that maybe the 90-goal calendar year was part of these 4 consecutive seasons. It's possible, so kind of makes sense. Question number 13. Who scored a bicycle kick goal in a Champions League match against Juventus? Against Juventus, this player scored a bicycle kick, an overhead bicycle kick, with his back to the goal. Flipped backwards and kicked it. And honestly, it's one of the greatest goals of all time. I think so. My favorite bicycle kick was Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I forget who he was playing for. Sweden, sorry. I forget who he scored, but he scored practically from the halfway line. It was a crazy goal. That's one of my favorite goals of all time. We should do a Zlatan quiz with the answers just always Zlatan. Okay. Who scored a bicycle kick goal in a Champions League match against Juventus? The answer is Cristiano Ronaldo. My other shirt has the picture of him doing the bicycle kick. But what's funny is that he scores this goal against Juventus, and then Juventus wanted to win a Champions League, and they went and bought Ronaldo to play for their team. And I don't believe they won a Champions League. So, it is what it is. Question number 14. Who won the Ballon d'Or, the Best Player of the Year award, while playing for PSG? PSG. For those of you who don't know, PSG stands for Paris Saint-Germain, or in very, very English, American style, Paris Saint-Germain, or Saint-Germain. It is a French team. So essentially, who played for a French team and won the Best Player of the Year award? Who can it be? This animal that I did see. Do you have an answer? Are you gonna lock in? The person who won the Ballon d'Or while playing for PSG is Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi. I think this is when they won the World Cup in 2022. I could be wrong, but I think so. Because usually they give precedence to players that win the World Cup and also Champions League usually. which I think is why Luka Modric won. Was it 20? Ooh, what year was that? Croatia made it to the final. And Modric also won Champions League. I think that's why they gave him the Ballon d'Or. And which is why recently, I think, was it Ousmane Dembele who won the award because they won the Champions League, I believe. I could be wrong. Alright, question number 15, last question of the hard category. Who scored in 3 different Champions League finals? Who scored in 3 different Champions League finals? Again, the Champions League is when the best teams from all around Europe come to face off in a tournament. And this isn't like the Euro Cup where it's the national teams, so like Portugal versus Argentina or whatever. It's the individual teams from those countries. So Manchester United, Real Madrid, Barcelona, they all go into a tournament, fight against each other, and see who can come out on top. So who scored in 3 different finals of those tournaments? Who was clutch enough to score in the finals of those 3 Champions Leagues? Did you lock in your answer? Here we go. The answer is Mr. Champions League himself, Cristiano Ronaldo. One of the best to ever play in the Champions League. Alright, how are you feeling? There's 10 more questions left. We're done the hard category. We're going to the very hard category. And then the last category is the brutal GOAT level category. So here we go. Very hard. Question number 16. Who holds the record for most goals in a single Champions League season? So, in a single Champions League tournament season, who holds the record for most goals? Not only out of these 2 players who scored the most, it's in of all time who scored the most goals and holds the record for one individual Champions League season. Who can it be? Do you know who it is? Are you locking in your answer? Answers are now locked. The answer is Mr. Champions League, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo. So, I should do a video of just going so for like an hour. Alright. Question number 17. Who has more official career assists? Who has assisted goals more officially in their career? If you're wondering what an assist is, I feel like for goals it's easy, explanatory. What's an assist? It's when someone makes a pass to someone and that person scores. So who has passed more often to players and have them score than the other? That is the question. Answers are locked. Okay. I pretty much gave this answer away earlier. My bad. When I said one person had the most goals, the other one I'm pretty sure had the most assists. And the answer is the same. The person with the most official career assists is Lionel Messi. 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 Question number 18. Who captained his country to a Copa America title in 2021? So if you're confused, the Copa America is the tournament for South America. Oh my gosh. It doesn't include like the Caribbean. No, that would be in CONCACAF, right? I think so. For our knowledge knowledge and for our purposes, Copa America is for South American countries. So which one captained their country? Now both of them were captains, or are captains for their country. But which one captained their country to a Copa America title in 2021? Alright. Did you lock in your answer? Here's a hint. The team was Argentina. And here's a hint. This is a Portuguese national team logo. The answer is Lionel Messi, the Argentinian captain who won the Copa America title in 2021. Alright, who has scored, question number 19, who has scored against more different national teams internationally? So who has scored against more, or who has scored against the greater number of different countries in total, out of both of them? Does that make sense? So they faced opponents and scored against more different opponents. So if they scored 100 goals against the same country, that doesn't matter. It's who scored more goals throughout more countries. So if they scored one against Brazil, one against Spain, one against France, one against whatever. Who scored the most against all these different teams? Do you have your answer? Did you lock in? Are you locked in? Here we go. Question number 19. Who has scored against more different national teams internationally? The answer is the goal-scoring machine, Cristiano Ronaldo. Dun, dun, dun. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're on to the last question of the very hard category. We have question number 20. Here's the question. Who has the most Ballon d'Or wins in football history? And bonus points if you can tell me how many. Again, it doesn't tell me how many. And I think I know. You can correct me in the comments below. Who has won the most? I'm very happy. I was gonna spoil this question earlier because I was gonna say I was gonna, not part of a hint, but part of the explanation when I was talking about Ballon d'Ors earlier. I was gonna be like, this person had the most. I'm glad I didn't say that. Alright, who has the most Ballon d'Or wins in football history? Answer's locked. This stat hurts me as a fan because it's the number one argument that people, well, no, it's this number two argument, saying why this person's better than the person that I like. The number one thing is the fact that this person won a World Cup and my player didn't. But the answer is Lionel Messi, who won the most Ballon d'Ors in football history. Nice. Alright, we're going into the brutal category. 5 questions left. I hope you're doing well. And for anyone who's on a winning streak so far and hasn't got a question wrong yet, here we go. Lock in 5 more questions. You can almost do it. Here we go. Question number 21. Who has more goals in Champions League knockout stage matches? So, for the Champions League, they're usually put into a group of 4 and they play each other twice, I believe. Or do they play them once? I believe it's twice. And then the top 2 teams go on to the round of 16, and then they play one-on-one games. No, they don't. They play back-to-back in each person's home. Either way, these matches are the knockout ones, because if you lose, you're out. So in general, who has more goals in these knockout stage matches in the Champions League? Did you lock in your answer? I just realized there's so many questions that I spoiled. the answers to. However, you just have to be listening. So today's video is not about hints when the question comes. The hints come throughout the video. You just have to be listening. Actually, that's not bad. I don't feel as bad now that I gave the hints away, or the answers away. Alright, who has more goals in Champions League knockout stage matches? The answer is Mr. Champions League, Cristiano Ronaldo. Question number 22. Who has more goal contributions? Which means goals and assists. And we know assists are when they pass to someone who then scores the goal. This is in World Cup history. Now this isn't in the history of football. That we know is Messi. And we know Ronaldo was the most goals. And Messi, I believe, is the most assists. But who has the most goal contributions, goals and assists in World Cup history? Only in World Cup tournaments. I actually didn't really know this answer. Which is very interesting. It's a cool stat. Alright, lock in your answer. It does make sense. If Ronaldo is the king of Champions League, then I guess the king of the World Cup, seeing how he won the Golden Ball that 1 year, should be and is the answer Lionel Messi. The most goals and assists in World Cup history. Alright, question number 23. Who scored a competitive international goal? So not a friendly. It's either a qualifier or an actual tournament like a World Cup or a Euro Cup. Who scored a competitive international goal in 5 different calendar decades? This doesn't make sense to me. So, 5 different calendar decades. So that means this person would have to have scored in the late 90s, then into 2000s, then in 2010s, then 2020s. That doesn't make sense. No, they're not old enough to do that. In 5 different calendar decades. Am I looking at this wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm only counting 4. Either way, who has scored a competitive international goal in 5 or 4 different calendar decades? Either way, it's a long time. And that is a crazy stat. The answer is... Actually, is your answer locked? The answer is the old man, but the still going strong man, Cristiano Ronaldo. And just a random fun fact, Ronaldo is about 2 years older than Messi, and his birthday is on February 5th, February 2nd. It's in February sometime, I believe. So, by the time you're watching this, it might be his birthday already. So happy birthday, Ronaldo. Alright, question number 24, the second last question. Here we go. Who won an international tournament MVP after the age of 35? Who won an international tournament MVP after the age of 35? Now I will tell you that both of them have played in an international tournament after the age of 35. But which one won the MVP award, the best player award for that tournament? Who could it be? I'm very curious. Again, I would love to know these different informations, these different facts. Because again, I don't know all the facts, so just being able to sort of put some of these pieces together. Because I would like to know which tournament this was. I don't know what tournament it was. I can take a guess, but I don't know for sure. Okay, well, here we go. Answer's locked. The person who won the international tournament MVP after the age of 35 is Messi. Lionel Messi. I'm going to assume this was when they won the World Cup in 2022, because that would make him, let's just assume he was 35 at that time. 35, 36, that would make him 38, 39. Probably 38, yeah. In 2025, he's going to turn 39 this year. Yeah, so it probably is for that World Cup. And here's the thing, right? I'm a Ronaldo fan. I'm not a big Messi fan. I'm a fan of Messi. He's a great player. We can all agree on that. But I don't know all of these different facts and cool things about Messi. So if you are a Messi fan, please let me know any of these additional information that I'm asking. Alright, here we go. The last question of the day. Remember, there's only two possible answers, Ronaldo or Messi. Here we go. Question number 25. Who has more goals scored after the 85th minute in official matches? This is crazy. This person is clutch if they can score in the 85th minute. Football or soccer games are 90 minutes long. There are extra time. Sometimes that's added. But in general, they are 90 minutes. So what they're saying here is, with the last 5 minutes or so, who has scored the most goals in official matches? So who says the game's not over yet until I say something, and has scored goals time and time again? This one is a toss-up. They're both great players. They're both clutch. They both score a lot of goals. But which one has more goals scored in the 85th minute in official matches? Are you locking in your last answer for today? Well, here we go. The answer is Cristiano Ronaldo. Dun dun dun. I'm going to assume most of those were for Portugal games, because a lot of times he would bail us out, either to tie a game or to win a game outright. So, shout out to him. Alright, how well did you do? Are you an expert and you got a perfect score? Or did you get one wrong and you're feeling bad about yourself? Well, have no fear, because a bonus question is here. You know I love bonus questions. So here we go. One bonus question to help you to get that perfect score. Here we go. Lock in. Here's the question. Who has scored over 800 career goals, won multiple Ballon d'Ors, and defined an entire era of football? What is the answer? And there is only one answer I will accept. Only one answer I will accept. Do you know the answer? Did you lock it in? Here we go. The person or the player who has scored over 800 career goals, won multiple Ballon d'Ors, and defined an entire era of football is both Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. If you said one and not the other, wrong. You gotta say both. Because at the end of the day, whether you say Team Ronaldo, Team Messi, Ronaldo's better, Messi's better, at the end of the day, they're both the two greatest players of all time. And we should all be very, very thankful to have witnessed the greatness that they have done and they have shown all of us. So, as Ronaldo fans and Messi fans, let's all come together, give each other a hug for a congratulations for an awesome quiz, awesome trivia. And now we can go back to hitting each other, okay? Just a few seconds of love, okay? Nice. Alright, everyone, thank you all for watching. Please leave a comment below letting me know your score. And also, if you're a Ronaldo or a Messi fan, maybe even say which one's better. Maybe even have a fight in the comments saying, this person's better, that person's better. That'll be fun. Keep it lighthearted, though. Alright, everyone, thank you all for watching. I will see you guys very, very shortly. This has been ASMR Dano, and make sure you get a very, very, very good sleep. Sleep, 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 sleep.